Welcome back, everyone. You could say Sixers fans are squirming a bit. The team has lost 2 straight games, and their best player is fighting through an injury.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for the last several days. Joel Embiid, he's dealing with a torn ligament in his thumb. So to join us to talk about that injury is Dr. Bartolozzi, who is the Director of Sports Medicine for Jefferson 3B Orthopedics. Dr. Bartolozzi, thank you for joining us. Good to have you.
Good morning.
All right, so let's get right to it. Joel Embiid, we saw him sort of wincing in pain as he suffered that injury. Tell us a little bit about it, and we understand he's eventually going to need surgery on this, so that sounds pretty painful.
Yeah, you know, it's a very common injury in sports. It's a common injury especially in sports like basketball and baseball, where you fall on your outstretched hand. In basketball, it's common to have a finger injury as your hand is stuck either on the rim or being blocked by another player. Or in Joel Embiid's situation, he does fall a lot to the hardwood, so it's a common injury.
Well, you know, he's promised to play through the pain. How difficult is that as a basketball player who obviously uses his hands the whole game?
You know, these injuries can be very painful, and also every time you shoot the ball, you're holding the ball, and your thumb ends up being a very important part of the balancing of the ball. So if the thumb is painful or tightly strapped or in some way restrained, it may make it difficult to feel comfort on the basketball. I have a little prop that can show you the nature of the injury.
Yeah, let's see it.
So if this is a hand, okay, so that's my hand here. This is the thumb, and when you fall on your outstretched hand, you can easily sprain that ligament. If you can see where
the red.
And it's very easy to fall and tear that ligament just like that. It's a common injury. In fact, it's often called skier's thumb, as the ski pole gets caught around the thumb and pulls it backwards.
Oh.
All right. So he's saying that he is dedicated to continuing to play through the series and hopefully to the next series if they make it that far. Could he potentially further injure his thumb by continuing to play?
No, probably. It's a rough game, so you know it's always a chance for re-injury, but he can play with that. He has a restraint on it, and at the end of the season, if needed, it can be fixed. If it's fixed during the season, it takes a minimum of 3 or 6 weeks in that range to get back to playing, and then with a stiff, sore finger. So there's no advantage to fixing it now. It's easy to fix it at a later time if needed.
That's what I was going to ask. So we're talking about that's the time frame if he does get surgery.
Sure, and it's painful. So you know, having it restrained is helpful, but it doesn't eliminate all the pain.
Oh, wow. Got a feel for him there, and they're facing a tough battle as we've been watching against the Raptors in this series. So ultimately, they're saying he's going to have surgery in the postseason, but going to continue to play through that pain, which you said can be pretty challenging.
Yeah, he's a very tough competitor. He'll make it through this.
All right. Well, good to know, Dr. Bartolozzi. We were curious to see just how bad it really is, and he's going to have to just, I guess, force his way through it. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
All right.